button here. So we should today we will talk about the checklist and few other things. So we ended on this slide, right? The best content that you can write. Obviously, we should focus on the content. That's the another part. So you were your question was how to identify the primary keyword and secondary keyword. That was the question last time. I remember that. So I have to make you understand, I have included one slide before we got into this part. Let's open this. Okay, so how to identify the primary and secondary keyword. So primary keyword, by if you want to know the definition, it is like a term you want to rank for, or it can just be an idea what you want to write about. Not just necessarily means a keyword. You should not have to think about there, maybe it has a volume or not. It's a subtle idea. I will, let's just say my idea is I want to write about digital marketing. So that is my primary keyword already. If you think about an idea, that is primary keyword already. You should not select this as a primary or that as a primary. If you go through the keyword tool and select a primary, there is no such thing, so that idea is already a primary. So you do not have to figure out which is the primary keyword. That is primary. So let's jump into the this part. This in the content writing and the SEO part means like a topic cluster. If you search for topic cluster, there are so many articles in Google. So topic cluster means this is the seed idea. If you call me a seed keyword or a primary keyword, this is the idea. I want to write about the laptop in my blog. So people looking for a laptop means I have to create a hub around that, like a topic cluster around that laptop, so that I could rank. So how do I do that? I need to break down into the subtopics. So this is the primary, I mean the seed keywords, and from this, through the keyword research tool, I may not know these kind of stuff at this point, but I know the idea. Like I want to write about the laptop, then I want to look for the laptop related keywords in Google. I will go through the Google suggestion, Google trends, and all those kind of keyword research tool. So I will figure out the related terms, what kind of people are looking for, what kind of queries people are typing, what kind of information people are looking for. Then I would create a topic cluster around that. Okay, so obviously my idea is laptop, which is a primary keyword already, and people looking for a laptop are looking for the laptop charger. That is a specific term. They are looking for laptop chargers. And laptop charger, even if we can break down into the other, laptop chargers means Dell laptop charger, or is it the Lenovo laptop charger. So we can break down into the multiple clusters like that, and we have to prepare an article around that cluster. And laptop batteries, and people might be looking for the cheap batteries or the best batteries. These are the cluster. And after we create a cluster, we make a complete article. So how we make a complete article? Last time I was showing an example, but then internet went off. I will simply pull in that information here. Okay, stingy nomads. Okay, I will give you the best example. Maybe you can take inspiration from this. You will completely understand. Also, it follows the checklist I made. It also follows that checklist exactly. So this is a very competitive keyword. If you look for the volume, last time we also looked for a volume of that keyword, and this site is ranking very much good in Google. Okay, so how is this ranking, even though the competition is so much high? So this guy is so smart that he has compiled, he have done the keyword research part and compiled a whole article on it. So see, if you look through the title, see, he puts a keyword that is a primary keyword. He wants to write about the Everest, that is his primary keyword. He wants to write about Everest Base Camp Trek, basically. That is his primary keyword. So he put a primary keyword in the first title, complete guide. And another one, like we talked about prefix or suffix, you can easily add it. Just that your main idea should be there in the title. So guy puts a title. And in my checklist, I have mentioned that in the first paragraph, you need to include that, include that keyword, exact keyword in your paragraph, in the first 100 sentence, first 100 word, you need to include that keyword anyway. It should sound natural, not like the lone tree we talked about earlier, but it should be natural in the sentence. Like here is the natural, the Everest Base Camp trek. See, the guy also put EBC trek because Everest Base Camp trek is a competitive keyword, and he also wants to gain the
Rank
people
for
are
EBC track.
sorry.
He wants also to rank for EBC track.
Yeah. So this may yeah, this has a less competition. So also Everest Base Camp Trek, the full form is EBC. He want to mention that, so it sound completely natural. Other than he could simply put Everest Base Camp Trek. He included EBC just to sound natural. EBC means Everest Base Camp Trek. It is naturally flowing in the sentence. So this is called as a flawless content. Okay. So in the first 100 he mentioned that keyword, and if you look carefully in there, he has a supportive related keywords related to Everest Base Camp Trek. See, trekking to Everest Base
Trekking
Camp
to
Trek,
Everest.
which obviously
Uh,
means this. So he included the similar but different variation of that, not just repeating the same, but different variation, and it is sounding natural. Complete. See, complete guide to Everest Base Camp Trek is also a good keyword. Also, trekking to Everest Base Camp. If we break down this whole keyword into two, it will be like guide to Everest Base Camp Trek is one keyword. It has a good volume. I have already checked. And trekking to Everest Base Camp Trek is another keyword. So basically, the guy writes the flawless content and targeting these two keywords to support this. This is a primary and this is a secondary keyword related to that, which is complementing the Everest Base Camp Trek. And if you scroll down below, so he creates a topic cluster like we talked just before. So he creates a table of contents. If I click this any content in here, I'm gonna go to that specific content, that specific portion of that, so that it is easier to navigate, because it has so much content. People may, find it buggy, people continuously keep on scrolling. So yes, obviously people want, if they want information, they will obviously scroll, but guys not relying on that, people don't have a time, so he just put a table of contents in there. This also helps in SEO part as well, so he could target the keyword in the table of content part as well. So he creates a cluster means he simply creates a table of a content, what kind of information he is writing on it. So basically the primary keyword is Everest Base Camp overview, which he have included in here. And on that, how to hike to Mount Everest Base Camp, organize Everest Base Camp trek, independent EBC trek. So every variation of the food on Everest Base Camp trek, and he breaks down into the subtopic like flights to Lukla, how is the flight to Lukla, Everest Base Camp permits and best time to trek Everest Base Camp, Everest Base Camp trek, and also break down into the subtopic where to stay in EBC, and guides and portal, and all sort of a topic cluster is mentioned in here. And if you go through the scroll through, he included the stat. See, introduction part is already here, but the way the guy has set is, they have a table of content, he has created a cluster, and he repeated, this sounds natural, Everest Base Camp trek overview means Everest Base Camp information in here, so he repeats that title in here, so it sounds natural, not like a keyword stuff. And he gives the stat, so that is the overview of overall in a Everest Base Camp trek, the distance, total accent, and difficulty levels, and all sort of information. And to complement that, he included a Nepal keyword here. He could simply put Everest Base Camp trek, but that would sound kind of unnatural. So Everest Base Camp Nepal, if we run that keyword through this tool, you may see this has a good volume also. So guy is really smart. I am also inspired from that writer. So people take an author careful. Everest Base Camp trek Nepal. So this should have a volume. See, this has a 330 volume, so which is good. Low hanging fruit. Also, people are bidding a $1 for that keyword, and the competition is around 0.49. So it is good for him. 330 volume, which is decent amount of volume. Also, it has a low competition, but people are actually bidding on it. means this is a good keyword. So he just puts Everest Base Camp Trek Nepal, and to complement his Everest Base Camp as a primary keyword, he just put a video. So overall, what is happening is he wants to create an overall information on Everest Base Camp Trek. He created a topic, topic cluster, and also he could simply write an article, just an introduction part, just like an introduction part. He could simply write it here, but he included the variation of the, he wants to give, this is the text, and he wants to give a video to just to engage with the audience. Also, in the, if I click through this and go to the respective, if they have a YouTube channel, so they should have mentioned this in the description, so that it creates the overall citations for that, this site, and creates the authority around that site. So we have to make it as informative as possible. Also, be it video or maybe infographic. If I could include a one picture where it says the day by day itinerary, it includes whole in the picture, like a Pinterest. If we see in the Pinterest, people make a infographics just like that. If I want to include that in here, so it would create an authority to the audience. So that's how the guy puts it. And see, long tail keyword, this is the main keyword in here. So high to main Everest Base Camp, Mount Everest Base Camp is the main keyword, but he puts the suffix, so it sounds natural. And see, it repeats the keyword trek to Everest Base Camp, totally researched keyword. We have also finalized this keyword as our in our last class. So see, if you go through all that, and Everest Base Camp itinerary, see, the guy had researched. See, again, he is repeating Everest Base Camp Trek. Organized means guided Everest Base Camp Trek, he can easily put it, but he included the organized, so it has a less competition. Guided Everest Base Camp Trek has a high competition, but he wants to rank on this organized, means guide synonym, right? Organized or guide is a synonym, LSI. He uses the synonym of that variation. So he puts organized Everest Base Camp Trek and all sort of information. See, now EBC Trek, he could simply write Everest Base Camp Trek, but he wants a different variation of that keyword, so it sounds completely natural. Again, see, in this part, the guy plays again smart. He can simply put in this bullet information, but he included the simple line for complete cent by cent cost breakdown of our trek to Everest Base Camp. Again, he have mentioned trek to Everest Base Camp in there. Again, he is repeating it here. Also, he is including EVC to complement that. See, trekking to EVC means the difference variation of this keyword. So the guy is very smart, the writing. And also in in the image caption, he also put the the researched keyword, food on Everest Base Camp. See, so this is the best example of creating a topic cluster and making it more informative and in-depth blog. So also this even though the guy is guy have researched the keywords, and he could simply make an full article without just mentioning these topic cluster, or without having a table of content, he could simply write. But also, if you see all sort of information in here, the content is length is around 3 to 4,000. Why? Because the Everest Base Camp Trek is a competitive keyword, and the guy has researched all those competitors who are ranking on Everest Base Camp Trek, and he have sorted the what kind of a content length is ranking on the first. Let's just say if I type in Everest Base Camp Trek in Google, through Nepal, obviously, through other countries, different result will come. See, this G Adventures is ranking first. So he have researched every competitors and analyze their content length. We can easily go through their site and figure out their what kind of content length they are having. And based on that, if I could write more content than this, then and optimize like this, it would obviously rank. At this point, it can be any competitive keyword, but if I could write more content than the competition and with a proper optimization and proper keyword research, so most of the time it will rank, obviously. So that's how we create our topic cluster. So we need to understand the idea is like a primary keyword and rest of them are all secondary. So this is treated as a seed or a primary keyword. Rest of the keywords are secondary keyword. So secondary keyword, if you want to know the definition, they are just supportive. They play a supportive role to complement that main seed keyword. So usually LSI means like related keywords. Okay, so and now I want to give you another example. The funnel stays pillar topic. It is similar to the topic cluster. I mean, it is exact similar. I wanted to show a different variation of that. So this is taken from the Google. This is not mine, but just to give you then information, I have this is the proper breakdown of the overall the primary pillar topic and topic cluster part. So the overall pillar topic here is the website traffic. The guy wants to rank on the idea is he wants to write about the website traffic. So what does it serve? It serve as a top of the funnel, means he wants to aware people about the website traffic. People may not know anything about website traffic, so he wants to aware people. So that is the awareness part funnel. Okay, so now the keyword variation he included here is how to increase the website traffic and ranking. So this is the LSI part. Obviously the website traffic is the phrase, but he has a keyword variation, how to increase website traffic, how to increase website traffic through SEO, just complementing the overall this pillar topic and breaking down into the subtopics, so it could sound natural as well as the long tail, so it has a good ranking potential. So here is the monthly volume, here is the competition. Okay, so another is middle of the funnel, means SEO tactics. He wants to write about the SEO tactics and also wants to rank on it. This is the consideration part. People want to consider what is the most effective. It is like creates a suspense. So people are desperate to see the technique. So see included the most effective SEO techniques in here, win backlinks from my site. So these are the overall topic cluster around this topic. And SEO tool bottom of the funnel, and after they are convinced and people wants to maybe check which tool they are using, which tool is effective to see the website traffic, and so that is the decision part. Maybe people want to buy the tool, so this is the like bottom of the funnel where people make decision. And so he breaks down that topic into the subtopics like this. SEO tools to increase the organic traffic, means this is also complementing the top of the funnel, awareness part. So through awareness he came into the decision part. He wants to hook the customer and make them to have an action on that web page. So he includes the all kind of information in the SEO tool part. And obviously you can see through the volume and the competition part. So most of the time he is targeting the medium kind of a volume. Okay, so that is how you create a topic cluster. Okay,
Okay.
and another thing I want to talk about today is I want to give you an Excel sheet where I have included all sort of information, this information, so that you could get an idea. So I have already gone through the like keyword research part. Just before the class I was actually generating this monthly volume, the competition, just to show you an example. So overall I created this. My idea is I want to write about Everest. So the priority is low. I mean, Everest is a very vast topic. Also, it is a broad keyword. Everest can have many information. It could be Everest pictures, who climbed Everest, all sort of information. So my basic idea is I want to write about Everest. I want to include all sort of information in Everest. And now I want to write about, if I talk about Everest, I want to write about Everest Base Camp. So Everest Base Camp, how it is, what's the elevation, and Everest Base Camp trek, I want how the difficulty is Everest Base Camp trek, and obviously I want to talk about the Everest climbing. So these are my basic ideas. Okay, so here my basic targeting is medium. Here I want to rank on this is the high, and other than that I want to rank on this medium part. So I'm giving a less priority this Everest but creating a topic cluster so it sounds completely natural. So this is how I assign my writers. If I am a if I am I have to assign a project to a writer, so I would simply create a topic cluster. They are not SEO people, so I create a topic and subtopics so they could simply write on that subtopic, so and it will be easier for me to rank on that later on. So this sheet I exactly give it to a writer and they contribute, and later I will upload that title. So see, I have made a exact the working scenario. So on that Everest, so I have made a cluster. Like on that Everest part, see, topic cluster is here, means I let's just say in the Everest part, I want to know, the people want to know what is the Mount Everest, where is Mount Everest, how tall is Mount Everest, where is Mount Everest located. So these all information are related to Everest part. Okay, not Everest base camp, just Everest. So I inserted Everest in here so that it falls around this. So overall, my subtopic would be, if I want to write about the Everest and rank on the part, so I would break down this Everest title into these subtopics and create the overall information around that Everest. So if I want to rank on Everest Base Camp Trek, I would break down the topics or the keywords related to Everest Base Camp Trek and create an overall cluster and make a complete article. Okay. So this is how it is done. I have analyzed the monthly volume. See, the volume is so much high in this part, in the Everest clutter part, because it is a broad keyword. Okay, so
Oh,
this is how it is done. I have given a priority and the CPC overall. So I have included the PPC competition is high here, here is medium. I have gone through the SEMrush tool and put into the Excel sheet. So in the low part, so these are my keywords, these I want to target. These are this has a good amount of search volume. I can easily rank. So I would assign these keywords to my content writer, and they will simply write content related to that. So, and also I have included in this sheet, the slug should be like this. If I want to rank like I have to write a blog on that, what is Mount Everest, the URL slug would look like, where is Mount Everest, like dash dash dash, if like a keyword. So Everest Base Camp Trek experiences, Everest best time to trek Everest Base Camp. This is like an example. you know so page URL, the suggested URL, and obviously I include the one column where there it shows the meta description part. So if they finish a content, they would simply put the meta description in here, and I will simply copy paste and upload it into a website. So that I would assign the writers, like who is the writer for this, and I would give them the estimated word count, because they are not SEO guys. I would simply research which website is ranking, how much content length they have. So based on that, I give them, you need to write at least 2000 word to outbeat them. So I will assign them and they will write, and I will upload, and obviously I will get the ranking potential in here. So this is the exact sheet I often use to to have a ranking in Google. So I will share that sheet and maybe you could practice later. So basically the theme is, we need to make a topic cluster and break down the subtopic. Let's just say if I want to write a book, I have a certain idea about the book. I want to outline the topics I want to write about, and break down into the simpler form, or subheadings. That is how it is done. It might sound a little bit difficult at the first, but once you know the divide and conquer rule is works best. So
mm,
you look for one information in the Google, and look for the all sort of information regarding that topic and create a subtopic around that. So one of the best example is uh, other than this Excel sheet, uh, I want to show you one thing, that is Gora festival. So this is one keyword. This is the festival that is celebrated in Nepal as well as Uttarakhand. So this has just 3 to 4 line of information in Wikipedia, just the few information. This is not much. Other festival has so many information in there. But in the external link part, there is no short references or the link. So Wikipedia contributors are people like us. So I looked into the Wikipedia, just 4 to 5 lines, not much content, not even thousand content in the also Wikipedia, which is like a overall encyclopedia around the globe. So this festival, I know what people do on this festival. So I simply got an idea. So there's not much information in Wikipedia. Maybe I should write, and then I have written a complete blog on this festival and written around 2 to 5,000 around the words related to that festival. And now after 3 months, Wikipedia is also constantly looking for the information, right? So ultimately the Wikipedia figures out my website, and they included my link in this external link part. Now it is removed because I have used one copyrighted image, so that's why it is removed right now, but I could show you. So that's how you have to develop a content, means you have to look for the potential. See, I never thought I could be featured in like Wikipedia, but ultimately I found a good hidden information in here. Then I wrote a whole content, or more than the Wikipedia. So that is the overall, the gist of keyword research part. You need to discover and see the potential. Maybe you could rank or not.
Okay.
So that is the extra tip. And another information I could share you is another example. This is by the SEMrush tool I'm using. This is the this is taken from the SEMrush that they have included in the blog. So this is how we have to structure the content. So pillar, pages, and cluster. So SEO, if the blog is the idea is about SEO, they wants to break down into the technical SEO, local SEO, and backlinks. On the technical SEO, they want to talk about the Google algorithm. On the backlinks, they want to include the best practices, and on the best practices, they included the tool, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and Google My Business. So that's how the overall cluster is made, and the overall in-depth article, that's how you should make. So this is the also the best example. So uh, so where do we start? I mean, I'm done with the keyword research part. This is the overall information I could share with you. And okay, so here is the checklist we were talking about. So this covers the most of the SEO techniques, and based on this, if you optimize your keyword, or your blog will rank, obviously. So I will go through one by one, so it is easier to understand. Okay, so the first is one keyword or group of related keyword per web page. Means, example, so I was working for this company before as a freelancer. So if I want to look for AWS services overall website, and this is the service, right? So I have included the services, the AWS services in this website. So means you have to have a one, you have to serve one keyword as a per page. You get it, right? So if there is a one services page, this should have only one keyword that would serve the overall purpose of that page, web page. So there should not be, I cannot include, if I'm looking for the AWS in there, I cannot include the Azure in there. I cannot mix up the Microsoft in there. Okay, so it should show up around AWS related keyword. So that's how it is done. And also use one or more keywords in your SEO optimized article. Means, like I mentioned earlier in the article, the Everest Base Camp Trek, we can include obviously the multiple variation of that keyword, but we should not repeat the exact same keyword. We have to include the multiple variation of that keyword. Okay. So also title should contain the main keyword. Means
And
now
do we have
it. Sorry.
do we have to make those variations by ourselves?
No. that's where I teach you about the keyword tool, right? In the keyword tool, there you will find many variation of that
Right.
keyword, like we talked about Everest Base Camp Trek. There was a potential hike to Everest Base Camp Trek, trek to Everest Base Camp Trek. So these all kind of variation you can get it from the keyword research tool. Also, to give you an example, see if I type Everest Base Camp Trek in here, so you will see the variation. See, base camp Everest trek. So I never thought this could have this much amount of a volume, and people are typing base camp Everest trek, not they are not typing Everest base camp trek. So trek to Everest base camp, say trek, best time to trek Everest base camp trek. See, all kind of variation. Also, like I mentioned in the previous class, I go through the database of the also asked, and and another one DV. So based on that, I showed the keywords and implement that into my article. So you can also look for Everest trekking, see all variation of Everest base camp. So one or more keyword you can include, like I mentioned in the uh, article, this article, see, this has a multiple variation of that keyword in there. So that is what it is. And title should contain the main keyword, means that is what it is. See, the guy is using the title. So this is obviously the H1 by default, if it is using the WordPress. So URL optimize means should contain a main keyword and keep it short, means the also URL should contain the keyword, and see, it is keeping short. See, Everest Base Camp Trek is in there. So also you see Everest Base Camp Trek in there. This is a long URL, also it did there, this has organized the, mentioned the category, like they have a multiple sort of a trips, so they want to include a category. So in the trips there is Everest Base Camp Trek, but if a pathwise, if you go through the URL, so pathwise, this is the main domain, and simply after the main domain, the main keyword is there. Means this has a higher potential than this, because it is, the path is 1, 2, and 3. It goes 3. If they have a longer URL, Everest Base Camp Trek in 2021, so it could be so many long. So path should be at least shorter, so that it is easier to rank. So
And in the previous one, why did he include the word organized also, like after the main keyword?
okay, this is the like not your part, like this is the developing part, means he have included here the table of contents. So if I click on this would simply just drag that. That's why this is the movement is created here. So this is just a developing part, just the URL is this, but just this is not as a separate URL, so this is just like dragging the users to that portion of that article. So this is the main URL. Just the dragging part, it is maybe developer would know, this is just dragging only in the article, not like a separate article. This is not like a separate URL, like this is not like this, separate URL. Just the URL is same, but for the dragging part, people actually use hash, see, hash is there. So this is not like a overall URL. Okay, so that should contain a main keyword, and write an awesome meta description, and should contain a main keyword and informative. So obviously this guy would have a keyword in their meta title. See, Everest Base Camp Trek, complete guide, followed by brand name. He includes complete guide only in the blog title here. If we scroll down, see complete guide, obviously the domain is there, so he may not put in the title stinky nomads. Is no need to mention that, that would sound unnatural. So he can include that into a title, so that it could include their brand name, like this, main keyword and the brand name. So in the content part also, he puts the Everest Base Camp Trek to complement that. So also in the meta description part, he puts the main keyword in there. So yeah, from URL to title to meta description, all should be in sync. That is the major goal. Okay, so content length. So how do I know? Last time you asked, how do I know how much content I want to write? So if you have a blog, sorry, if you know you do not need to have a blog. If you are writing about something, simply look for the information in Google, type that keyword, and see which people are ranking. So if you want to
Okay.
beat that, you need to make a
Right, more than that.
word length more than that and better than that, just not like a word like in the loan tree we talked about in earlier class, not like
Word
keyword
stuffing.
stuff. You need to write a best content, and also the length should be more. So that is the overall goal. So that's why for the minimum requirements, at least 1,000 keyword would serve good for SEO. So keyword in
Okay.
first 100, like I mentioned earlier. So H1
What about
article.
this one?
Sorry.
Write an awesome meta description. Should
Yeah.
contain main keyword.
Yeah.
It should also contain the main keyword.
Yeah. See, description
Okay.
part. See, Everest Base Camp Trek is here. This is the title. See, Everest Base Camp Trek is the title. So he includes here Everest Base Camp Trek. Also in
Mhm.
my strategy as well, if I type here, sorry. So this is the, I optimize this. This is the main primary keyword I have included in the meta description. See, AWS Cloud Services. Also, I mentioned in the checklist that the URL should be also should contain a main keyword. So I have a URL AWS Services, not like AWS Cloud Services. I can include AWS Cloud Services, but AWS Services sounds shorter. So AWS in the AWS Cloud Services, this has a 3 keywords. So also Google, if Google easily treats AWS. If there is AWS Cloud Services, this should obviously include AWS services. So that's why it is ranking. You get the idea, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So keyword in first 100, the guy has mentioned keyword in the first 100 means this first paragraph, he started with that. Great. H1 tag, one H1 tag per page. We mentioned in the earlier class as well, one H1 tag per page, but multiple H1, multiple S2 and S3, sorry. So one H1 only. And for heading, you can break down into the multiple subheadings in the cluster. So image size, this is not for you, but for SEO part, if the image size, you should, the optimal, dimension for the images are for the blog is around 1200 by 600. Also you can include the free images. If you are writing a blog, then you can find a free images through Pixels and Pixabay. They do not charge a copyright against you. And if you have a screenshot of your tool or brand you are using, you have to include the alt text. So this is for the SEO purpose. Alt text means let's just say, so this guy has mentioned the caption, so this guy also has mentioned the alt text. If I inspect here, so there is a alt text part, alt. So there should be somewhere. See, in the alt the guy includes the keyword Everest Base Camp Nepal. So why it is done is, I am showing live example to you. Let's see if I pull in that URL and EROSSEO. So this is the main URL. If I pull in that URL in here and see browse, see, this is how the bot looks your site. This will looks for the words, content length, and all sort of information. H1. So I have included the hash. That's why it says blocked. So I need to maybe delete that. This is the only portion of the site. Okay, browse. Okay, then the tab. Here, SEO. How the Google bot sees your website. This is how Google bot sees. Okay. Sorry, it is right now blocked maybe. I would show you another example. Maybe tool is also working, but this is not generating. Maybe it has to do with the code, but I can show you another example like this. Okay. So this is how the bot sees your website. So they cannot read the images, they do not know what this sign means. So you have to include the alt tag. In the back end, you have to include what this image is about. See, here is the
Wow.
image, and this is about the image logo, and all sort of information in here, h1 s2, the meta title, description. This is how Google crawls your, bot crawls your site. They have found all sort of a links in here. Emails they do not read. See, if I include AWS emails, they simply read this image is about AWS. That's how they know that this is about AWS image. So we need to include that. Without using the image, Google cannot read those images, what that page is about. So this is for SEO purpose. And heading, subheading should be in the lowercase and no full stop. Obviously, it should be lowercase. To show you an example, let's pull in that info. And obviously heading should not have a full stop. First starting letter is obviously the capital, that is without a question. But usually for the subheading part, you can use a lowercase is preferred. The guy has included the camel case format. The main keyword is capital and later one is small. This is called as a camel case, but the preferred is our main heading is like uppercase and later one is like lowercase and with no full stop. Even if you include the full stop, Google will address it differently. Okay, so you need to mention that you should not have a full stop on the subheading part. So this is for SEO purpose. Another checklist. If the image is so much size, if they have a high amount of a size, like if they have a 5 MB, 20 MB image, we need to compress that image, and then compression is done through tinypng.com and compressor.io. You can simply shrink the size. Example, let's just say I will pull in one free image. I will show you a live example. Let's just say Everest. So this has a high quality image. You can use that. People use it just for the blog. You can find anything from marketing to any niche you have. See, if I type here marketing, you can find marketing related images. I also use it for a blog simply because they have a high quality blog. So I have downloaded that TinyPNG. I will go through TinyPNG, go to this site, and upload that image somewhere here. See, it is 626 KB and it is compressing. See, now the resulting image has a 449 KB, which reduces the size. Why are we doing this? Because if the image size is so much MB, we cannot, the load time takes the time. If I, refresh this site, it's going to take time to load that high quality image, which is not good for the user experience. People don't have a time and they do not have a patience. They simply close its site if it is taking so much of time. So you need to do that. That's additional information for SEO. And also don't forget, if you are including the YouTube video to complement your article, you can simply go to YouTube. You have two ways to include the video in YouTube. Okay, let's just say so this is the song. Okay, so if I share this, simply copy and paste it in the article, the thumbnail will automatically show up. If not, I can simply use embed and copy paste that code. The thumbnail will automatically show up. Obviously I can decrease the size of the thumbnail. So that's how it is done, to embed that video into the article. Okay, so include internal link in the article. If you have a internal linking means like you have to interlink your article. Like if somewhere your word is mentioned, if you have already written one topic, you can simply read, make a link to that topic. If it is, see, this is the internal linking part. Everest base camp itinerary, they have a different page on Everest base camp itinerary. See, they have included the itinerary in this, they have interlinked their article. So this would create an authority also for the user. It will, maybe people want to look for the itinerary, they can simply jump into that part. So Mount Kilimanjaro, maybe they want to look for Mount Kilimanjaro as well, so they can easily click through that. So this creates an authority and make a overall experience good for the article and a blog. And this is very important. There are people who write vocabulary stuffed content that may not give you a result. The major inspiration would be the Neil Patel. The guy puts a blog, but in a very simple words, and break every paragraph, he has a break. Like, if you look for Brian Dean too, you can find that similar strategy. So overall the experience is good while going through his blog. Let's just say, if I am, sorry, featured guide, where is that? It is not clicking blog. Okay, here's, okay, see, topic by every word he uses, he hears the gap, so that overall experience is nice to the viewers and they do not get lost in the keyword stuffed, so many of content at once. Also, it is pleasing to the eyes, we can easily navigate through a breakdown. The content structuring part is, sometimes he uses blog, proper formatting is there, sometimes he uses screenshot. So proper gap and white space. See, in the left side there is enough white space, in the right side enough white space, and this would make a great experience to the viewers. So also he writes the simple content, not like vocabulary stuff, direct and simple, so it is easily readable. Readability score of this guy is very much high. So that's how it is done. And yeah, this is the must have. You need to have a correct spelling and the grammar. Okay, so typo should not be there. After you complete an article, you should go through the proofreading process and have a correction there about spelling and typos and grammar. And once that article is passed through that grammatical check, you can simply go through the Q text. I will send you the tool. This is the probably the best tool to check the flag if it is a duplicate. And another tool is, if you have already have a website and you want to check if that website is copy pasting any content from another blog. So this is the standard site to check that. People these days include, if they want to write, if I want to contribute in a news or some blog, so they have included in their guideline that they should pass the copy escape test. Okay, so they go through this part, copy escape. And my favorite is this one, and you can paste in that URL and see the overall content is, if it is copied or not. This is probably my best source. To show you an example, it gives to the depth of it. So let's just pull in some content and see what that keyword tool, the content writing tool, will give us. Let's say copy, and we paste it, check for black. It's gonna take us time, a little bit of time, sorry. So what, this is not a free tool, obviously. I mean, in a daily basis, you can check one, but maybe I have checked already. So let's see if I can have, but obviously you can go through the tab, another tab to, to check through another tab, you can easily get it. Let's see if it works. Okay, it is working and checking. Let's see if that content is duplicated or taken from somewhere. Obviously, it is already published content. While making a new content, it was also check if the words are taken from another blog, but it is already published. The tool should give this as a source. This should be the source if that content is legit. Let's see, 6%. It should show that the content is taken from Heaven Himalaya. I have shared this checklist as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you would go through every one of it, while writing. If you cross check one by one, you know, maybe you should not have to bother about this, the URL part, but rest of the content part you can take on. Images
And
you take on. Yeah.
how many times should we include the primary and the secondary keywords in our blog post?
That is not there is not a clear rule that how many times you can include. You can also do like Lone Tree does, but it should sound natural in the sentence. That is the overall goal. You can repeat the usually the marketers include about 4 to 5 times in their articles, depending on the length. 1,000 word article can have 3 to 5 keywords mentioned in there. Obviously, you can include the many variation, but the exact same keyword, if you want to repeat it, it should be okay around 3 to 5 times.
Okay.
See, so okay, this tool is working super fine. So this is taken from Heaven Himalaya, which is good. But another, see, this may have copy pasted the content from this tourism golden doc.com.np. So this is giving 30% and this is giving 70%, which is the legit source. Obviously 70% is their official site. So this shows correct. See, that's how you can look for the source. So what part of content is taken from this? See, okay, okay. So grab this opportunity and book our AEBC, track to ABC. So exact pattern in same. So the 30% of content is obviously that content writer also took a exact sentence from this. See, from this Q text, nobody gets away. If you pass on Q text and you are good to go, your article is finalized. I
Okay.
go through that, see, they have their, see, so grab this opportunity and see, they have included the same line. Obviously you can paraphrase and include a new line, but the guy wanted to copy paste the same content. But you should not be confused around this. Let's just say if I include Everest Base Camp 14 day is obviously the 14 day is the standard itinerary for Everest Base Camp trek. And if you include 14 and 14 matches with another source, that is not called as a flag. The exact word or the pattern or the sentence should not be there, but basically you can include Everest. Also they include the Everest, so that can be similar. Also, if you pass 100%, that is more than okay. Around 5 to 10% flag is okay for SEO, but you should not exceed 5 to 10% to 20%, just like this. This is obviously taken from the same website, but if you have a 20 to 30% of the content is copy pasted from the another source, then it would not be good for the SEO ranking potential I'm talking about. So another example is you can easily go through copy escape as well. Simply copy paste the URL and see if it is taken from any content part, any source. You can pull in through URL. See, it shows the content is taken from these kind of URLs, all summed up into the one. You have to look one by one if there is a exact content. So this is how it is done. Okay, so if you have any questions related to this, I will send you all sort of a tools I talked about in the class and give you that exact Excel sheet I'm using right now, and maybe you could start working around.
Okay.
Also, another key information I want to give you is this is a free tool made by the Google. If you simply go through this, sign into the Google, there is another tool, latest introduced tool called Mind Map. So it creates a good visual presentation of the overall blog or the article. If you want to create a cluster around that, let's just say I want to write about Everest Base Camp. So obviously I can link. I want to write, see, I want to write about, if I am typing Everest Base Camp, Everest Base Camp height, I would mention about height, these kind of a topic cluster. I can create Everest Base Camp distance, see, And after I create a cluster, I would give to the content writer, and this is the my main primary keyword, and you need to break down this, focusing this keyword as a primary, and write on the subtopic like average base camp distance, average base camp height, their difficulty level. I would simply download this and give it to a content writer. So that's how you can do it through this Google free tool as well. So this is the additional information I could share. So if you have any questions or confusion, obviously you can go through the WhatsApp as well as you can ask now.
Uh, could you again explain how many times we should include a primary keyword as well as a secondary keyword in the text?
Okay. So you should not, think about that, how many times you should mention. Just, write a content and, basically good content. If it comes naturally, then let it go. But the basically how the marketer does is, if they want to rank about, they would mention in the 1,000 word article, they mention about 3 to 5 times. You can include the variation of that keyword multiple times, which will do wonders if you include the variation. But if you are repeating the same keyword, it should sound natural in the sentence, not like the lone tree, but like a stingy nomad the guy is doing. The mentioning EBC track and Everest Base Camp track, the guy is mentioning naturally. So that's how you can do it. So earlier there used to be a keyword density, like if you maintain that density, the keyword density part, then you could rank. But the keyword density does not work in 2022. You can include 3 to 5 keywords in the 1,000 word article. Obviously it depends upon the length. If you have 4,000 to 5,000 article, then you can include the multiple 5 to 10 or maybe 12 keywords in the overall article. But that should sound natural. Like I said, in the FAQ, you can also mention in the FAQ part, you can easily mention that. In the maybe you are breaking down into a bullet point and you want to include that keyword into there, that would sound more natural, contextual, natural. So that is how it
Okay.
is done. To give you an
And
example,
is there
example.
any specific strategy where we include like a primary and secondary keywords in the introduction, then the primary keyword again at the ending of the post,
Okay,
like
okay,
blog post?
okay. So that part is, last time I gave you an assignment and you figured out the grade. So I haven't included in the checklist. Maybe I should include that. So in the first 100, I have already mentioned, see, you have to include a keyword in the first 100, but the way the 2022 the structuring part works is, in the first 100 you have to mention that exact keyword, and later if you write a in-depth blog, you have to write a conclusion. People look for the summary, the overall, the user experience is, people either read at the top and they read at the bottom. If they want the specific stat information, they would scroll through middle part. But the heat map, or the overall user experience, the search engine marketer have analyzed is, either they people hook through their introduction part. So you have to write a very good introduction and compelling one, and include the summary of that blog at the end, like in conclusion. So that people usually put conclusion part. Okay, so in that conclusion you have to mention that keyword. So that is the overall structuring. I forgot to mention in the conclusion part. So you should do that. Actually, it's a good question. Actually, you have to mention the conclusion at the end.
The primary keyword in the introduction and the conclusion part,
Yeah, conclusion, and in between you can use 2 to 3
and
times, not an issue.
also.
And
And
for variation, you can use multiple variation.
what about the secondary keyword? Do we have to like mention it in the introduction and the like conclusion part, like the primary keyword?
Sorry, I did not get you.
I mean, like, what about the secondary keyword? Does it have a strategy that where we have to include the secondary keyword like the primary keyword has? Like, we have to include primary keyword in the
No, 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 no,
introduction and ending
no,
part. And
no. For
no,
secondary keyword, everything other than primary are secondary keywords. So you can include as many as secondary keyword in there, but it should sound natural as always.
and anywhere in the article, it is not necessary that I have to mention it in the introduction part or in the
Yeah,
conclusion
yeah, yeah.
part.
Anywhere in the article, there is no clear strategy that you should mention in that part only. So there should not be any strategy. You can include anywhere.
And what about LSI keywords?
So the LSI keyword, like I said, you can include the multiple variation of that article. Let's just say if my title is Everest Base Camp Trek, I in the subtopic I would simply hiking to Everest Base Camp Trek is a LSI keyword. How to hike to Everest Base Camp Trek is a keyword. So that's how you can do it. But to look for LSI keyword, you can trek synonym. Everest Base Camp Trek is one keyword. So Everest Base Camp Trek for through Google suggestion, you can get as many as LSI keyword. Everest Base Camp hike is another good keyword. Everest Base Camp hike, another synonym is trip. Everest Base Camp trip. See Everest Base Camp, another one is journey. You can also include that. So these LSI variation you can include, because why you need to mention that LSI means LSI has a less competition, and if you hit on the less competition, you would get decent amount of less traffic at the first, but a traffic gets add on, it gets adding on, adding and adding. So that's how you can do it. So these are the some example of LSI. How hard is it is to walk to Everest Base Camp? Walk to Everest Base Camp has a less volume, I think, if you pull in that information. So it has a good potential. Walk to Everest Base Camp. It has a less volume, but potential is high. See, 280 is a good volume. Also, people, if it has a CPC, means people are actually bidding, means you can immediately include that keyword into your article. Means this keyword is obviously getting them leads. People are bidding, means this keyword is getting them leads. So you need to include that, even though it has a low volume or high volume, you should include that into that. So it has a low volume, means great potential. 280 monthly traffic would do wonders for your blog, and obviously people are bidding through that, means this is a great keyword. And here you can see the variation, how you can put it, how hard is Everest Base Camp Trek? It has a 20 volume. So these are the long tail variation of that keyword. See, best time to walk to Everest Base Camp. See, the walk to Everest Base Camp is already there, and but they have included the long tail variation of that keyword just to sound natural. Okay, so see how it is working. Like walk to Everest Base Camp Trek has a 280 volume, but if you include the long tail variation, best time to walk to Everest Base Camp also has a 10 volume. Means best time to Everest Base Camp has a two type of a keyword. Like walk to Everest Base Camp has a one volume, that is 280, plus overall best time to Everest Base Camp also has one volume, means 10, equals to 290 volume. So you are getting 290, you are targeting 290 volume. So that's how it works. Simply
And
go to
what's
the, if you do not have any idea, simply go through the keyword tool, and you will get through the multiple variation of that keyword. Also, Google suggestion works best.
okay? And what's the main difference between secondary keywords and LSI keywords? Or is like are LSI keywords the
All LSI
subtype of?
keywords are called as secondary keywords. Like I mentioned earlier, like other than primary, everything is secondary. There is no such thing as a secondary, to be honest. It's just like the marketer put it as a, just to distinguish which is the primary and which is the secondary, just to distinguish only, you know that is the only term, that's why people are using. But there is no such thing as a secondary keyword. There is no clear term in the SEO which is called as a secondary. Other than primary, also there is no such thing as a primary, means the seed keyword, the main keyword you are targeting. Just the word is used as a primary and another is used as a secondary. It's just a word only. So there is no such thing as a secondary. You get the idea, right?
Excuse me, wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay, we can resume now. Actually, somebody was like knocking the door.
Okay, sure. So there is no such thing as a secondary, in the marketing term, it's just like a word only, okay? So just to distinguish between primary and secondary, people use that word. Not like there is no such thing like a primary keyword is this and that. There is no such identification of that or definition of that. Just to distinguish between primary. Everything other than primary means the keyword you are targeting is primary. So that is called as primary. It's like a seed keyword. People some call it seed, some call it primary. It's it's like that. You need to, the just basic idea is the keyword you are targeting is primary and rest of them are secondary. Done. Simple.
Okay.
So basically the overall theme is you need to have a, while doing your article, you need to have an idea and, roughly sketch that idea into the copy and outline the information you are, including in that blog. Just outline that and, make a strategy and, done, you are good to go. Like by this checklist, follow this checklist, include one in first paragraph, and in the conclusion include one. And another thing is, first I would like simple, the walkthrough is, first you should include this, and in the conclusion you can include this. Those are checked. And another one is for technical aspect, include that in the H1, means title is already H1, you need to include that. It should, but you should not use multiple H1. Multiple H1 means the article cannot have a multiple heading, right? It should have a subheading. If the title is there, means which is H1 already, Google knows this is the title. And if you repeat that title H1, means the blog has a different, all kind of title, different H1, multiple H1. Google thinks like that, you have to make only one. So title is only one. Book cover, book title is already only one, you should not repeat that, right? So simple, it's like a chapter we studied in a school. If the title is one there, in the title should complement, and another one are subheadings only. So that it works like that, structuring part. So I
Oh,
think now, if you have any question you can ask.
like are we done with the whole keyword research part?
Yeah, this is the, yeah, whole thing. I don't remember anything other than this. We have to, obviously the my process is like that, everyone process is like that. If you go through the blog as well, everyone process is like that. Everyone go through their volume, short down their, keyword density, like keyword not density, difficulty, and, based on that they see the low hanging fruit. If there is potential, they can write. And the important thing nobody tells you in the blog is how much content you have to write so that you could outbid others. Means you have to look for the keywords, like you have to type the keyword and see which article are ranking. If you see any, if you see this website is ranking at the first, then you would obviously study this website, the way they have done structuring, how many content they have in their website, and, just look for that and maybe create a best content around that. That is how it is done. So you have to write many content than that. If I have to beat a lone tree, I have to write at least 1,000 to 2,000 words, because they have targeted 1,000 words article. If you are also unaware of that, you can simply use this tool. You do not need to have, brainstorming. Sorry, SCM. Okay, SCM. SCOP. Okay, so this is the tool. If you don't want to, get into that part, how many content I have to write, just a short idea. Let's just say if I want to rank on Everest Base Camp Trek, and I included all location. Okay, you can obviously choose the location. So sorry, Everest. It is a refreshing camp trek. Okay, it is loading. Okay. Okay. The limit is there, so SCM. This gives a very much good information about the keyword, how many length if you are onto that. Maybe, okay, let's see, it's loading. Okay, obviously my like daily exceed limit is exceeded, so you can simply go through that. I will post that into my Excel sheet, and this shows is for Everest Base Camp Trek, how many content length people are, targeting on that. So maybe you could write better content than that, and that's how it works. See, it will show you the difficulty and all sort of information regarding that. How many links the competitor site is having on that link, how many content length that is having, how many on-page score they have, the what kind of SEO they are doing, all sort of information you can get into that. See it, also see in the screenshot, It also figures out how many content length you should target to rank on that, see,
Okay.
732, it shows like that. So based on that, you simply write a content. If you go through the video, you can easily go through that as well. So the way it works.
Okay.
Okay, in the free time you can go through that video. So daily limit is one per day. Okay, you can go through that. And I think it's a wrap. If I remember anything that is worth sharing, I would obviously bug you. I mean, obviously we are connected through WhatsApp, and I believe now you have taken the class. I believe we are friends as well. Anytime if you need anything, feel free. Um, Other than having a class, I can, simply, if I know the strategy, I would love to share with you. That's how people treat students, or I respect and honor every people. I
Okay.
contribute a lot.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for that.
okay, okay. So if you want to
Uh,
connect, or if you want to see my blogs, how I have written, you can also type my name, like a spelling, like HAWRRY. I have contributed in lots of other sites as well, written a blog. You can go through that as well, you know just to connect. So this was my article in, like, which beat the Neil Patel, so I could share with you how set and track marketing goal. Okay, set and
mm,
track, sorry, set and track marketing goals. So see, my article is ranking at the first, and people are writing on the same, set marketing goals, how to set and track your marketing goals, how to set co-schedule. I have written it. This is also a company, even Neil Patel has written the similar, but he included the different title. But I was able to see how to set marketing goals you can actually achieve. Actually, he's targeting that same keyword, but my keyword is ranking first. So this is more overall information. But now you are at the class. To tell you, I haven't gone through that checklist to make this article rank. But the way I have written is, everyone are going through the, all the checklist, and they are putting the keyword stuff in their content. But for a test, I never thought I could rank on this. But for a test purpose, I have written a very different content than those existing content. They're very different in the sense, like, they talked about set and tracking the marketing goals, technical aspect of the, marketing, how to measure that goal, all sort of digital marketing stuff they put. But here is my, like, a different kind of article. Article can be informative, article can be, stat based or fact based. People are talking about fact based, but I included the article just about information phase, like informative article. I haven't included any keyword, just while I was writing, and naturally if the keyword comes, I would include. If it doesn't come, I should not include. So that's how I have put in it, and it ranked pretty well. I haven't gone through that checklist. It should be, first 100 paragraph. This is not the overall guideline I have maintained, and I haven't included a conclusion. Okay,
mhm.
so I have simply, see, no conclusion in here, just the subheadings, which are H2, and this is a H1. H1, this is the overall summary. I have gotten the 100 claps as well. So sometimes, like I said in the slide, do not write for search engine, rather write for people. Sometimes it results good. Maybe you should, you may not get a good result like me, but overall objective or the goal is to satisfy the people who sees your content. And write different, write unique, do not copy paste, and structure your content well, like included the heading, paragraph, break down into the bold, like formatting the paragraph like this. And 5 major goals. See, I have included as a S2 to complement that. My title, goals of marketing strategy. My overall title was, set and track marketing goal. So I have included the natural, like, 5 major goal to build a marketing strategy. So goal and marketing is also there in the subheading part, like that is S2. and S2 is breaking down into the other subheading, that is S3, and this is S3. If I have to break down into other subheading, then I would include H4 like that. So that is how you can structure. Okay, okay. So thank you,
Also,
Fatima.
like
Okay,
previously,
so
I have a question.
sorry, yeah, question you can include.
uh, Previously, but when we talked for the first time, you said that